Hello! Yeah, there's some records here, which I'm going to show you. And there's a playlist to go with it. I suppose this is a bit of a traditional setup in terms of it's pretty much all vinyl finds from fairly recently. It's probably not that long, 3 or 4 weeks. And yeah, I've been out and about a little bit. I've been to the lakes over Easter. So I went to a sort of fair that's there semi-regularly in Windermere in the sort of community hall that's on the way out towards Bowness. That's been going a few years, to be honest. I've been in there before. I think there were 2 guys that were doing it before, and now I think it's just one fella who's basically got the place to himself, but he's got loads of stock. Nice guy. I think he's called Phil. He was telling me that he sells at Leeds. Maybe he does 1 in every 2 at the record fair at the market there. Anyway, yeah, so I got a few things from him. The following week I was over to Belfast with work. So there was a shop in Bangor that I went in, which is a sort of town on the coast about half an hour east of Belfast. And then closer to home, being in Hyde Market, there's a bit of an old school record stall in the basement there where I don't often go crazy, but I usually find a few things that are worth grabbing. And then, yeah, last week I was working in Chorlton, South Manchester, which is where King B is. And King B's a brilliant shop. Yeah, I went to uni in Manchester, so I moved there in 95. And so I can't remember exactly when we first went in, but yeah, I mean, I basically moved into a flat with load of lads who were all into music. One guy worked in a record shop in the northeast. The other one, his dad used to have a recording studio and put a few things out on his own label, and you know, suddenly music and record shopping became quite significant. And yeah, so we went to King B pretty early and carried on going the whole time we were there. And so I don't know if it was late 95 or early 96, but I can remember there was you know, you just remember things, don't you? And there was a young lad who was working in there, and the owner, and basically it's still the 2 of them are there now. So there's Les, who's now the older guy who runs it, and the young lad's probably pushing 50 like I am. And I don't think anything's changed in 30 years. I think it's just been the 2 of them the whole time. And the shop's not changed one bit, as far as I can see. And I like it. I like it all the more for that, really. And everything's priced sensibly in there. And it's just full of things that are interesting and priced to sell. And if you want crazy, rare, expensive things, then, you know, there's all that as well. But yeah, anyway, I'll get on with this because there's a few to show. So this first one you've possibly seen before if you've seen some of my other videos. This was one of the ones that was included in that sort of recent haul of stuff that I just showed, without sort of playing anything. And yeah, this is the Australian sort of folky thing, which is Penny Davis and Roger Illett, Birchgrove Key. This is from 86. This is their 3rd release, according to Discogs. And then maybe they had a bit of a break because there's nothing else listed until the sort of 90s. But yeah, I really like this, the whole thing. There's quite a lot of different instrumentation, sort of shared girl-boy vocals. This first tune, Feel the Year Turning, is... yeah, it's strong. It's I think it's about coming to terms with getting older and turning 30. Pierre Bensusan, Musiques. Yeah, I really rate Pierre Bensusan. This album is from '79 actually, although I didn't realise when I got it. This is a later repress from '87, I think, on Windham Hill, and I didn't realise he'd put things out on Windham Hill. this is, I suppose, a little bit more traditional in the fact that it's just him, guitar, mandolin on some, and vocal. And yeah, it's a lovely listen. This is the record that sort of got me into him, I suppose, and looking out for stuff. And his records are always cheap. Like this probably goes for £5. This cost me £5. This is a repress actually on Rounder Records. This is from '79, although I think the original release is maybe '77. Says it was recorded '76 to '77. This pressing sounds amazing. I think this is, for me, this is like an audiophile standard pressing, to be honest. And it's a £5 record. This has got more going on. It's one of only 2 records I can think of that feature bagpipes that I actually like, because I've got a bit of a problem when it comes to the sound of bagpipes. There's a few other things as well, like accordion I'm not keen on. Any folk record that features accordion, it's a non-starter. So you've got violin, cello, bass, drums, pipes obviously, alto sax, tenor, bass, clarinet, flute. So it's a bit more, it's not progressive as such, but I suppose it's not a traditional folk record. I suppose it's pushing the boundary a little bit. I really rate it, especially this track, Le Conseil de Gare, the War Council, I think that translates as. Yeah, I really rate this, and this is a nice listen as well. And then I picked up this record, Mescalito. I've already got this, but I just could not resist leaving this behind. This was in King B. It was £4, which is basically for nothing these days. And I think this is a brilliant album. I first found this about 5 years ago, and I think I got my original copy from King B. I think it was in the £2 box though, because I think it had some damage. And then since then, I've picked up a couple of others. It's from 2000. It's on. I think it's on the Tummy Touch label. Discogs has it as down tempo, trip hop, acid jazz, post rock, left field. And I mean, those are all boxes that work for me. There's 8 tracks. I can't remember what the split is now, but it's about 50-50 with vocals or just instrumental. So I was a little bit obsessed with this when I first found it. Not played it for a while. I haven't listened to it all again, but I've gone back to the tracks which I knew were my favourites really, which is Shoreditch Oyster, Rambler, and The Fucker. And they're still all great. I think Shoreditch Oyster is probably my favourite. I mean, beautiful sleeve as well. So for £4, it's just, can't leave it. Lewis Taylor, Whoever. So this is a single from '96. This is from his first album, which I've not heard. This is the only one of his that I've got, which is Stoned. I thought this was from 2005, but I think maybe this is a 2005 repress, and the album was out in 2002. I'm not sure. I can remember a few years ago looking into whether there was a vinyl version of this, and there wasn't. And then when I've just checked, and Be With Records have done a repress in the last couple of years. So I'll probably be looking to order that, if I'm totally honest. So this features this B-side here, Pie in Electric Sky, If I Lay Down With You, which is sort of like two two songs combined, but it's only about 4 minutes in total. This is a non-album track, and it's really good. Yeah, so this is Money Mark and Cry. So this is a single from 95, and I probably didn't need to buy this because it's from this LP, Mark's Keyboard Repair, which is his first full-length LP on Mo Wax. This is from 95. And the two main tracks on that single are Cry and Invitation. So I just wanted this because I absolutely love the title track, Cry. So you get a live version of that, unreleased track, Never Stop, and Invitation, which is just a heavy organ sort of short instrumental track, which is pretty banging, to be honest. Yeah, I think this was a fiver, and yeah, I'm pleased with that. And then, yeah, sort of in a similar vein to that instrumental track is this sort of semi-official comp that I picked up. I got this from the fair in Windermere. So this is a compilation from 2002. And it's all sort of hard to find instrumentals from the sort of mid-60s to 1970. There was only one album that I was familiar with, which is this one. This is still on the shelf, actually, because I'm working out. I mean, it's a pretty tatty copy. It's got one track which is amazing, which is I Was a Persian Fly. So that's here, obviously, and it features that track, which isn't the standout, to be honest. I mean, it's all great, and some of them are really difficult to find, but it's got the Mohawks and the track Pepsi, which is from 68. And then there's this artist, David, and the track is Sleppin', which is another 45 from 1970. Yeah, and I mean, this sounds all right. So, yeah, I think, and this was in the half price box in Windermere, so it was a fiver. Yeah, Booker T and the MGs, Melting Pot. Now, I ain't got loads of stuff by them. So this is a repress from 76 on Stax, originally out in 1970, and I think this is pretty well thought of in terms of their catalogue, really. And yeah, I mean, I've not heard of many of their albums, but yeah, I'd go along with it. It's pretty strong start to finish. Probably Melting Pot is my go-to at the moment, but yeah, I'm really pleased to get that. And then yeah, I got this Manu Dibango album, which is sometimes this is down as being self-titled. This is a UK press, so maybe it goes under Sun Explosion. Yeah, it says Sun Explosion on the spine. It's on Decca. It's from 78. Now, there's only 4 tracks on it. The first track, Anti, is amazing. The other 3, I'm not quite so sold on, but it's worth keeping for that first tune. And then yeah, so this is Ursula Dujak. She's a Polish sort of jazz singer. I've shown one of her records before, which is this one from 82. This is quite a different sound. This is like a wonky synth album, for want of a better description. Interestingly, it's got the same producer as this one, I think, and also this one, which I showed recently as well. Michael Urbanak, if that's how you pronounce his name. So maybe a name I need to start looking out for. This is more of a sort of mid-70s sort of jazz funk sound, but not jazz funk in the sort of like, there's no hard edges. It's not awkward in any way. this track Misty is absolutely incredible. It's one of the favourite. It's one of the best things that I've heard in a long time. Yeah, I think it sort of features violin on that as well, and her vocal is pretty unique, and yeah, I think she's known for having this incredible range, and but she's not really. I wouldn't say she's restrained, but like on this record, she's kind of like out there. Whereas on this one, her vocal is definitely sort of, I don't know, it's just within the sort of parameters of what you'd expect, without kind of, making it sound too sort of boring, if you like. I can't. I'm probably not doing it any justice here, but this track is just. It's something else for me. Unfortunately, the record's a little bit beaten up. It's actually a promo, but it cost me £2. I'm definitely going to be looking for an upgrade. This is Barabbas. This is from '72, and yeah, it's they're a Spanish sort of rock funk band. I think I was familiar with the name, although I'm not sure I'd heard anything before. I think this is a pretty well-known album, and sort of quite a lot of people got it in their want list. This is a Puerto Rican pressing, sort of on this more rustic-looking RCA label. It sounds pretty good. Yeah, it's pretty clean, and the whole thing's great. Wild Safari, definitely worth checking out. This is a really good album. Yeah, same with this one really. Although it's a little bit sort of, it's a bit maybe 50-50, like half of it's really sort of kind of upbeat and funky, and maybe more what I'm looking for. The other half, maybe a little bit more gentle. This is from '74. Yeah, I was reading up who plays on this, and there's just the list is almost endless. There was Herbie Hancock, Minnie Riperton, Bernard Purdie, Arthur Adams, Bob James, Dennis Coffey, loads of others, loads of people I didn't recognise. Yeah, I mean this was pretty cheap. Boogie Joe the Grinder is. It's one of the more upbeat ones, and it's got some sort of nice sort of synth touches as well. It's really good. It's on A&M. Yeah, so I got this library record. This is from '75, and to be honest, so this is Disco Happening. I paid up a little bit for this. In hindsight, I probably overpaid. Because even though this is a really scarce release, there's another version, pretty much identical track listing, maybe a couple of differences, on a different label, I think Bruton label, and it goes for about half the value. So maybe that was a bit of a mistake, but it's on this sort of nice Regency Line label. But there's some great stuff on here, so I'm happy to have it. Funky Feeling is well worth checking out. So that Funky Feeling got me thinking about this record, which I think everybody has probably seen this and probably ignored it. You do see this a lot. I don't know why it must have sold so many. It's pretty terrible. Apart from, there's one track, Funky Fever, which is absolutely dynamite. Alan Morehouse has done all sorts of things, and he's got his name on a few desirable library LPs, and this Funky Fever is just more in keeping with an instrumental sort of 70s funky library cut, really. I think it features on a KPM compilation, and it's worth getting for £1 just for that one tune. Yeah, so this was new to me. Captain Planet. This was just in King B, and it was in all the dance stuff, which is right next to the record deck set up, so you can just listen to things before you buy. And I gave it a quick listen, and I really liked it. So this is from 2009. It's some guy who's based in LA, Charlie Wilder. His Discogs reckons he blends global roots, hip hop, dancehall, and electronic beats. And yeah, I suppose this has got a bit of a Latin feel to it, and yeah, it's all good. It's an EP really. On Your Feet is probably the standout for me. It's on this Bastard Jazz label, which I, in all honesty, not heard of before. But yeah, he's still putting things out. I think he had an album out a couple of years ago, and there was an interview with him that I was checking out. Yeah, very happy to have this. And yeah, I got this Kashif record. This is his second LP from '84. I've shown this one before. This is his debut from '83. This is an amazing record. I absolutely love this. That thread, 1,001 albums to listen to before you die. I mean, if I was going to put one forward at the moment, it would probably be this, because I don't think most people have listened to this album, and they're probably not interested in this sort of music. And maybe that's the sort of thing you should be encouraging people to give a go, because it's it's all about that, isn't it? It's sort of staying open-minded to enjoying and exploring other things, and you never know what you might be into. But I'm not into this as much as I'm into that, unfortunately. I'm still keeping this, probably because I love this so much. I've not given this enough of a chance yet. There is one good tune on it, definitely, which is Baby Don't Break Your Baby's Heart. That's that one anyway. So this is Sign, Happy's the Only Way. I wasn't familiar with this. This was from King B. It was priced at a tenner, which is pretty reasonable. There's a bit of damage. Not an easy one to find. It's from 1977. And it's a Patrick Adams release. So it's a studio disco project. 5 tracks. I only listened to it a couple of times, so I'm not totally sure yet. This tune, Keep It Coming, is probably my favourite at the moment. Which sort of starts as a bit of a squeaky synth workout, and then it sort of gradually progresses into something that's a bit more sort of piano based and sort of banging, really, and then it sort of goes off somewhere a bit more experimental again, and it keeps me interested. So I'm pleased to get this. It's on CBS. And then this is Warp 9. So I got another one of theirs recently, which was 7-inch single. So this is Nunk. And to be honest, it's the instrumental version again on the B side, which is the one which I'm most into. I think this is a pretty well thought of tune. Quite a lot of people looking out for it, and it's just a decent electro tune from '82. Another one from King B. I was actually looking for this. So this is Dig Alliance, and this was in my want list. The only reason it was in my want list was because I got this one recently, which is their first release, and then so when I was looking into it, they'd only put 2 things out. This being the second from '95, this is the sort of thing that I've sort of described before, where it's sort of it's '90s. Dance music, and there's sort of similar things to early 2000s where it's sort of electronica and beats and samples maybe, but also with live instrumentation, and that's what this is. So it's sort of saying, You got one guy beats and programming, keyboards and programming, tenor saxophone and flute, rhythm and lead guitar, bass guitar. So yeah, I was really pleased to get this. There's just 3 tracks. They're not all on YouTube, but yeah, this tune Inhale is. There was a press release with it. Yeah, I was reading like this Cooker Records. It turns out is based in Leeds. Yeah. Anyway, so I was pleased to find that. And then, yeah, finally, another record I've been looking for, really. So this is Thrill Kill Kult, Confessions of a Knife. So this is their LP from 1990. I think this was a bit tricky to find. It's on Wax Tracks, but it's had a repress recently. The only track I was aware of or I've heard, well, I've got the single, is Daisy Chain for Satan. And yeah, I guess, I mean, this isn't going to be for everyone. It's kind of industrial electronic rock with samples and maybe an element of techno as well. But yeah, it's really good. I mean, the Confessions of a Knife theme part 2, which is the last track, is the one that I've gone for. So yeah, you can have a listen to that if you like. There you go. Cheers.